OK, well, naturally enough, we've been inundated tonight with big questions about science, maths and medicine. But first, the ongoing controversy over racism and the constant booing of AFL footballer Adam Goodes. And our first question comes from Michael Doyle.
Thanks, Tony. I've been a West Coast Eagles supporter since I can remember. I think I was about 10 when I first watched on TV in country WA, West Coast Eagles run onto the field. I live in Sydney now, and it's sweet when we beat the Swans, but I was devastated by the behaviour towards Adam Goodes, and I say that both as an Aboriginal and as a proud Australian. This behaviour has been going on for quite some time, and people carrying on in this way know that it's being characterised as racist. My question to the panel is, what impact is this having upon us as a nation?
I'm going to start, oddly enough, with Neil Tyson here. Let's start with an
outsider's
outsider's
into your racist
perspective.
thing?
Indeed.
I got enough racist problems in the United States, you know?
What do you make of the ones here?
I can try to offer a cosmic perspective on it, if I may.
Might be the best way of looking at it.
All right, so I've thought about it. Upon landing, they handed me the Daily Telegraph, is that it? And it's front page, back page, mid-page stories on it. And I just started reading it, and I was...
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, and I was just... and all I could think of... Well, I thought about 9 things, and if you allow me. And what we do in math is you separate the variables. And what's happening is all the variables are jumbled together and people are reacting. But if you separate the variables, it can be revealing. For example, he's celebrating his score at the end of a game, correct? I mean, during the game. And he does it in a way that's different from everyone else, gesturally. And to me, that's a form of a freedom of expression, a freedom of speech. If you don't like that, at some point you have to confess to yourself you're not a fan of freedom of speech. And so if you're going to do that, that's a different country from what I understand Australia claims to be. That's A. B, it was in another occasion, in response to this, a 13-year-old girl engages him with the comment. Well, first, the fact that she says that he reminds her of an ape or something. Now, okay, did she come up with that on her own? Or was it her friends? Likely it was her parents. If you're 13, you just don't say that unless you came from an environment where that's been said before. That's really weird. That's, in this, the 21st century, for people to be behaving that way, I'm highly disappointed, if I can say. Now, so, then she calls him an ape, and then I thought, why did she call him an ape? Because you know what she's done? She's selectively chosen things about apes that she thinks apply to him, and not other things that would apply to people who are white. For example, apes have hair all over their bodies. You have never seen a black person with hair all over their bodies. Black people are some of the least hairiest people in this world. And who are the hairiest? It's white people. They're the hairiest. With hair on the back, out of the neck. And so if you focused on hair, then you could call white people monkeys, right? It's all racist
Can
conduct.
I just say quickly, as the only bald person on this panel, I am finding this conversation very hairless all of a sudden. I just want you to know that, Neil.
I don't want to hog the thing, but I just got to get this. You asked me. I'm just trying to get it off my chest.
I did. I wanted a cosmic perspective.
Okay, so then he's paid millions of dollars. He's a professional athlete. Then I thought about him and I said, someone is commenting from the audience. Get over it, okay? If Jackie Robinson, because we've been through this in the United States, Jackie Robinson, breakthrough into Major League Baseball.
That was 1947. Now.
Yes, it was 70 years ago, 80 years or whatever. And so people are booing him, and he rose above it. And what you can do is, rather than argue with the person booing at you, the next press conference you can say, this happens all the time, and I'm disappointed, and I expected more, but I'm professional, and I'll eat it.
Let me go back to Michael, who asked the question. Michael, what do you think about that last part of that, the suggestion that perhaps he should rise above it?
I think he has a tremendous opportunity to educate, particularly young people, around racism, and that's exactly what he attempted to do. and I don't understand why that attempt to educate somebody about what's harmful around racism is being so misrepresented in the Australian media at the moment.
I'm just going to...
So yes, but
You
I have
touched the
another
presenter.
question, okay? Why does anyone think or reference him as a black footballer? He's a footballer, okay? Why, where does... When, why, and where does skin color matter in that sport? Okay? So when I think of people talking about race, it's being invoked here in Australia, as far as I can tell, as it means to figure out who belongs and who does not. Yet, I, as an astrophysicist, when I think about race, I think about it as something that unifies us all. I think about it as the human race.
Thank you very much. Adam, I'm going to go...